Hello, book besties. Welcome back to the Lucy Chronicles. My name is Lucy, and today's video is going to be my March TBR. Okay, so I want to start with the books I'm carrying over from previous month, give you an update on The Count of Monte Cristo. Still reading this book, y'all. I am about there. I did make a little bit of progress in February. I read about 40 pages, ended up being about 2 or 3 chapters. I am on page 812. It's just getting so good. He's getting his revenge. I'm loving it. Hopefully I'll read closer to the 20 pages a day this month. I don't know that it's going to go much better because of middle grade March Mystery Madness, and my buddy reads that I have going on, but we will do the best that we can. I am enjoying it. The writing is beautiful, and I don't know how Dumas does it. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, that's the first carryover. Also carrying over Love Does by Bob Goff. I was hoping to read this in February because of love in the title. It's February, Valentine's Day, what have you. But I got about 3 chapters in and I was like, there's no way I'm going to read this in 1 month. I'm learning very quickly that I am one of those people who needs to take their time with nonfiction. 2 chapters in, I was like, this is so cute. This is so good. And I just want to bask in it. I want to take my time. So many good little things here. So many good little nuggets to chew on. Also carrying over Anne of Avonlea, still working through this. It's really good. I really like it. This was one I was hoping to finish in February because I am trying to follow Chantel's yearly challenge of reading the entire series this year, as well as other books by Ellen Montgomery. And this was February's book, and that is about where I'm at. And so, yeah, it's going slower for me for some reason than the first book. And it's not that I'm not enjoying it or that I find it boring or that it's not as good as the first book. I think that I'm just not in the mood for this type of story. I know that's crazy. You should always be in the mood for Anne, right? I've just been very slumpy this month, first of all. Second of all, Christie's book, well, Micah's first of all, but Christie's more recently, has just kind of stirred a craving or a desire for more fantasy in me. And this is definitely not fantasy. I do want to finish this in March because book 3 is Anne of the Island. How beautiful are these covers, y'all? I do want to get to this one in March for sure because this will fulfill a lot of prompts for middle grade March. So those are on the docket this month as well. And then I'm also still reading Hunted by Megan Spooner. I will put a picture here. I'm reading this on KU. I'm buddy reading this with Christy A. Cole here in BookTube. I will link her channel down below. And I don't know, you guys. I'm starting to come to the conclusion that fairy tale retellings just aren't my jam. This is my 3rd fairy tale retelling, and it's my 3rd author, and I haven't particularly loved any of them, and I just am feeling underwhelmed by it. The writing in Hunted is really good, and I do really like Eva, the character who's portraying Belle or Beauty. It's so dark. This is such a dark story, and the Beast is awful. He is horrible. He is borderline barbaric, what he's doing to her. And I just don't see how he's going to redeem himself to the point of deserving Eva. I feel that he is going to have to do a lot to atone his past. He's going to have to do a lot to convince me that he is worthy of love. And I know that's a really unchristian way to think because, you know, we're supposed to come to the Lord as we are, and he forgives us all our sins. He forgives us all our debts. and we're supposed to forgive the way the Lord forgives. I don't know. We're about halfway through. Christy feels the same way that I do. We're both just kind of like, this is really dark. There's one scene that has kind of made us both a little bit uncomfortable. I think it was her attempt at putting spice in and still being spice, not a non-spice book, still being clean. And it just kind of made us both a little uncomfortable. And it's definitely going to affect my rating. And the fact that it's so dark, the beast is so barbaric, that's going to affect my rating too. I just can't connect with him. I'm not connecting with him in any way, shape, or form. And I know he's under a curse. I know the story, y'all. I know the story. But it's so awful. It's so awful what he's done. And I don't know. I'm just wondering if this is just maybe not the genre for me. I know there's so many other authors to try, so many other retellings to try, and I get that. And I'm not fully giving up. I have promised Christy that I would try a Melanie Cillier book and a Mara Meckham book before I completely give up on it. But I'm just not convinced at this point, y'all. And yeah, I just don't love it. But I'm stubborn. I'm going to finish it. Okay, let's talk about the other buddy read that I have this month. Micah and I are going to start Fablehaven. This is a 5-book series, to my knowledge, and it is fantasy. It is middle grade. I don't know a ton about it. All I know is it's about a brother and a sister named Kendra and Seth who have to go spend an extended period of time with their grandparents because mom and dad have been gifted a cruise in a will for an uncle, I think, an aunt or an uncle of Kendra and Seth. And so they need someone to watch the children. And so they go to stay with grandpa and grandma, and they come to learn, and this is not a spoiler because it is on the back flap here. They come to learn that grandpa is actually the caretaker for Fablehaven, which is this fantastical world that has fantastical creatures. And I'm assuming that Seth and Kendra get into some mischief and some shenanigans. And yeah, I am very excited about it. Steve really likes this. I know Cheryl over at Candlewick Library. I've heard her talk about how much she enjoys this series, but I'm very excited to read something that Steve has read, but I haven't. That just doesn't ever happen. How about I read the back to you guys? Okay, so that's what the cover looks like. For centuries, mystical creatures were gathered into a hidden refuge called Fablehaven to prevent their extinction. The sanctuary is one of the last strongholds of true magic. Enchanting? Absolutely. Exciting? You bet. Safe? Well, actually, quite the opposite. Kendra and her brother Seth have no idea that their grandfather is the current caretaker of Fablehaven. Inside the gated woods, ancient laws keep order among greedy trolls, mischievous satyrs, plotting witches, spiteful imps, and jealous fairies. However, when the rules get broken, powerful forces of evil are unleashed, and Kendra and her brother must face the greatest challenge of their lives to save their family, Fablehaven, and perhaps even the world. I think it sounds adorable. And Micah and I have not buddy read anything since Ilion, the King Scrolls. And I'm really hoping and praying that this is not as emotionally taxing as that was. Oh my gosh, you guys should see the chat feed from when we were reading the King Scrolls. Like, it was this one meme after another of us crying, like just being in despair. I'm guessing since this is middle grade, I'm hoping since this is middle grade, it's not going to be as tragic or as violent or as terrible. I just hope and pray it's a little bit lighthearted, a little bit more whimsical, and more of along the lines of Ariadne. If you've read Ariadne, you know what I'm talking about. I will keep you guys posted. And yeah, I'm very excited to buddy read with Micah again. It's been a while, Micah, and rude. Hey besties, Editing Lucy here. I totally forgot to mention one other buddy read that is happening this month, and that is the Wing Feathers Saga. This is the first book. On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness. I'm going to be starting this with my handsome husband named Steve, who, yeah, there's like 51 chapters, and so we're going to start putzing through this. I don't know that we're probably going to get it done by the end of the month, just because we both have other buddy reads going on. I've got March Mystery Madness as well as Middle Grade March going on, and we have a lot in our personal life going on as well, as you all are aware. So, yes, but I'm very excited. All I know is that this is fantasy. There are dragons, to my knowledge, and I don't believe it's Christian. It might be. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's very popular in the Christian community here, so it's very possible that it's Christian. But we will find out, and I will keep you posted on this. But yes, I'm very excited. I'm learning that I like to go into fantasy as blindly as possible, just because I think it's more of an adventure that way. And yeah, I don't know. I'll probably cave and end up reading the back at some point, but yeah, I'm very excited. We have never done a buddy read together as far as fiction goes. We have done some Bible studies and some like Christian nonfiction studies together and things of that nature, but this will be our first time reading a fiction novel together, and I'm very excited. So, okay, editing Lucy out, back to the video. One other book that I do have on my radar that I want to read in March is My Lucky Charm by Courtney Walsh. This is the second book in the Holidays with Heart romance. The first book is My Phony Valentine, and you guys, I'm sorry, I just got to show you. Look at this bookmark. Isn't this beautiful? Cece made that for me. I think it's absolutely adorable. It has my favorite color. It has my favorite verse, my life verse, if you will, and Homemade with Love by Cece, it says. Isn't that so sweet? I love her. I love you, Cece. Anyway, so yeah, this one follows Poppy's little sister Eloise and Grayson, and it is the grumpy sunshine trope. I remember loving Eloise so much, and I think it has the single father trope too in it. Yeah, I remember really liking this one. It made me cry a little bit too, so I'm hoping to get to this, it being St. Patty's Day and all of that. So she's writing book 3, and I'm so here for it. I can't wait. Let's transition to readathons that I'm participating in March. I am participating in 2. Middle Grade March and March Mystery Madness. I'm very loosely participating in March Mystery Madness, but Middle Grade March, I do have books selected that will allow me a blackout. So Middle Grade March is hosted by Krista over at Books and Jams, and then I think Katie and Amanda are the other 2 hosts. I don't remember their channels. I will link them all down below. I will also link the Middle Grade March YouTube channel down below, as well as I will put the prompts down there. I don't know if there are graphics, but all of the information I'll link down below, as well as Krista's announcement video. Anyway, the 5 prompts are: read a book by an author with 3 names, read a book that is part of a series, read a book that has flowers on the cover, read a book that was written in the 1900s, and read a book that involves travel of some sort, travel of any kind. I've already talked about the 2 books that I'm reading for this readathon. Fablehaven by Brandon Mull. This is part of a series, and it does involve travel because Kendra and Seth are traveling from their home to their grandparents. So those are the 2 prompts I'm using for Fablehaven. And then for Anne of the Island, I'm going to be using the other 3 because this has flowers on the cover. It was written in 1920 something, I believe, 1940 something, and Lucy Maud Montgomery. So 3 names. So between these 2, I will fulfill all 5 prompts for Middle Grade. Love Middle Grade March. This is going to be my 2nd year participating in this readathon. I'm very excited. You guys, can you believe I've been on Christian BookTube for a year? That's insane. Okay, the other readathon that's pretty big that's going on in March is March Mystery Madness, and this is all about mysteries of any kind, and this is a really big one. So the main host, I believe, is Lizzie over at Lizzie Faye Books, or Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'll link her down below. I do not know all of the co-hosts. There are a lot of them. I will try to put them all down below, but for sure I will put a Lizzie's announcement video, and she'll have everything linked in her description. But this year it's kind of along the same lines as Alma's like Journey Through Time challenge, where you get to pick a century or a decade or something, or a period of time, and you have to read a certain amount of books that fulfill or that take place during that time, or that were written during that time. And I'm choosing to opt out of that part of March Mystery Madness this year, just because I have way too much going on besides it. But there is a bonus prompt for previous participants, and that is to read a book in honor and loving memory of Scott. And if you don't know who Scott is, Scott and his wife Becky are co-hosts. They have been co-hosts for years, and well, they've been involved in March Mystery Madness for years, and Scott passed away in 2024. And so this prompt is to just read a book that just will serve his memory, will honor his memory, and they just left it at that. So that is the prompt that I am going to participate in. It's the only prompt I'm going to participate in. I'm also going to read a book in honor of Becky, his wife. She didn't pass away, but I can't imagine the heartache and the loss that she's feeling right now. And so I'm going to read a book in honor of Scott, and I'm going to read a book in honor of Becky. And so Scott's favorite author was Sir Conan Arthur Doyle. He loved Sherlock. Like, every video that I've watched of him was he was reading Sherlock. And so I have the complete Sherlock Holmes collection right here. And so I'm not entirely sure which one I'm going to read yet, but I am going to at least read one of these this month. I'm going to at least read one of these this month. I do remember him talking about the Speckled Band and really liking that, as well as the Hounds of Baskerville. Steve and I are in the middle of watching the Sherlock miniseries on Hulu. It's with Benedict Cumberbatch, or Doctor Strange, for all you Marvel fans. And it is so good. We did watch the Hounds of Baskerville. I believe we watched the Speckled Band as well. I mean, look at my edition. It's so beautiful. My bind up. It's so pretty. It's got the like gilded edges. Yeah, I'm obsessed. It's definitely an author I've been wanting to get more into. And so, yeah, for sure, in honor of Scott, I will be reading at least one of these this month. Okay, and then Becky loves cozy mysteries. Like, that is her jam. Like, it's almost exclusively what she reads. And so I'm going to use this opportunity to continue my reading of the Hannah Swenson books. So I say that like I've read so many. I've read the first one, and then I've read the two Christmas ones, or two of the Christmas ones. So I am going to be reading, in honor of Becky, Strawberry Shortcake Murder by Joanne Fluke. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I'll put a picture here. I find them very nostalgic because they all take place in Minnesota. They have recipes, and yeah. If I can find a copy for really cheap, I might just buy it. Otherwise, I'm just going to read it on my KU. But I'm trying to collect them because I love the recipes, y'all. I just love the recipes. I would encourage you all to go check out Lizzie's announcement video. I'll put it down in the description. And then participate at least that way. Even if you didn't know Scott or Becky, I just think it's a beautiful way to tribute someone who is so passionate about books and about literature, and whose Sherlock was his favorite literary character. So yeah, and they were such a sweet couple. Like, the videos that I've seen of them, they are so sweet, and what a tragic, terrible loss. Like, I just feel for Becky so much. So, okay, let's move on to the prompt jar. So, just to kind of recap from last month, I had to draw 4 books. I had to draw 4 prompts last month. And the prompts that I drew were middle grade. Spoiler alert, I didn't finish a single book from my prom jar. Anne of Avonlea was what I selected for middle grade. Had young adult was the next thing I drew, I believe. And for that one, I chose Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. Didn't even look at this. Didn't even pick it up, y'all. Surprised. Are you surprised? I don't think so. And then for, did I think I drew a thriller? Did I draw a thriller? Yeah. Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Naturals series. Yeah, thriller. Didn't even look at it. Didn't even glance in its direction, y'all. And then the last one was Dual Timeline. And then I chose The Love Letter by Rachel Held. And it was not the most successful reading month for me, y'all. You will learn this when I do my wrap up, which I'm probably going to do a recent reads and combine February and March, because I have a feeling that both months are going to be on the lower end of like number of books I read. So anyway, yeah, we didn't do well. So we're going to roll. I've added some more prompts to the jar for all intents and purposes of this video. And I'm putting in a rule that I cannot reuse a book that I used the previous month. Even if I didn't read it, I cannot reuse it. I have to choose something else, okay? If it's a book that I have not started yet, like either of these or this one, or either of the two for middle grade, for March Mystery Madness, I am going to allow myself to select them. I just cannot choose a book that I selected for a prompt last month. And I cannot use a book that I've already started, okay? So, those are my rules. I'm really glad that I didn't add any punishments, because initially I was going to add punishments for books that I didn't finish, which would mean basically you have to draw an additional prompt for every book you didn't finish, which would mean that in addition to whatever I rolled today, I would be adding 4. We're not doing that. We're just not going to do that. I will have punishments in my TBR game, which I'm hoping to have ready by April. It might not be ready till May. I'm working on it. I just want it to be exactly right before I launch it. Okay, let's pray for something under 4. 5. But, so as of right now, I've got 4 books that I haven't started yet. 4 plus Strawberry Shortcake. That would be, I want to finish both of these, and I want to finish Hunted. So that puts me at 7, 8 books that I want to finish this month. 8 plus 5 is 13, y'all. I'm so nervous, you guys. I'm so nervous. Okay. Prompt number 1. It's gonna be dystopian. I don't know if I have any more dystopian on my shelves. Oh, I do. I do have one. Hold on. Let's look at it without the dust jacket. Oh, it's so much prettier without the dust jacket, you guys. I've also got another secret project going on in the month of March with Reese, and I can't talk about it, but that book I think would count as a dystopian. I can't remember. We'll put it here. You guys. I'm gonna put it in the stack, but I can guarantee that's probably not gonna get touched. Okay, that's prompt number 1. Prompt number 2. This is not looking good for me, y'all. A 1-word title. Fablehaven. 1-word title. Yay. one word title. Okay. Whew. That was okay. That was all right. Okay. Prompt number 3. This is very fun, but it's very nerve-wracking. Let's see. Go with this one. Well, it's an author. I can tell because it's written in yellow. Some of these prompts are going to be for my TBR game. Morgan Matson. Okay. I have a couple by her. Oh. They're chunky, y'all. They're chunkier. This is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is young adult. It's mainstream. You guys, I'm literally going to be doing nothing but reading this month. Okay. Andy had it all planned out. When you are a politician's daughter who's pretty much raised yourself, you learn everything can be planned or spun or both, especially your future. Important internship? Check. Amazing friends? Check. Guys? Check. As long as we're talking no more than 3 weeks. But that was before the scandal, before having to be in the same house with her dad, before walking an insane number of dogs. That was before Clark and those few months that might change her whole life. Because here's the thing, if everything's planned out, you can never find the unexpected. And where's the fun in that? The cover's adorable, isn't it? We're going to give this another shot. I love her writing. I think if I remember right, there may have been some mild swearing that kind of slowed me down. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I would have to go back and watch my April wrap-up because I think this was one that I selected in April. But we're going to give it another shot and hopefully it goes better this time. Y'all, I'm running out of room on my cart here. What was that? Was that 3? Yeah, that was 3. Okay, prompt number 4. Oh my gosh, it's another yellow. I don't wanna. These are the 2 I have by her. What Alice Forgot and The Husband's Secret. This one says, my darling Cecilia, if you're reading this, then I've died. Imagine your husband wrote you a letter to be opened after his death. Imagine, too, that letter contains his deepest, darkest secret, something with the potential to destroy not only the life you have built together, but the lives of others as well. And then imagine that you stumble across that letter while your husband is still very much alive. Cecilia Fitzpatrick has achieved it all. She's an incredibly successful businesswoman, a pillar of her small community, a devoted wife and mother. Her life is as orderly and spotless as her home, but that letter is about to change everything, and not just for her. There are other women who barely know Cecilia or each other, but they too are about to feel the earth-shattering repercussions of her husband's secret. That sounds actually kind of good. I'm worried about language, if I'm being honest. This one's What Alice Forgot. Alice Love is 29, crazy about her husband Nick, and pregnant with their first child. So imagine Alice's surprise when she comes to on the floor of a gym. A gym. She hates the gym and is whisked off to the hospital where she discovers the honeymoon is truly over. She's actually 39 years old, has 3 kids, and is getting divorced. That knock on her head has misplaced 10 years. Now Alice must piece together the events of the lost decade and figure out if it's possible to reconstruct her life at the same time. She needs to figure out why her sister hardly talks to her and how it is that she's become one of those super skinny moms with really expensive clothes. Ultimately, Alice must discover whether forgetting is a blessing or a curse and how to start over. So it's the amnesia trope. This sounds really good too. Which one should I read? They both sound good to me. I think I'm going to go with What Alice Forgot just because the amnesia... Well, though... The Husband's Secret is less thick. So this one's 416 pages. That's way too long for a contemporary, y'all. That's ridiculous. This one's 460. We're going to go with The Husband's Secret. I still don't think. I can guarantee. I can almost guarantee. Where did that little sheet of paper go with her name on it? I can guarantee I'm not going to get to it. Okay, last prompt. Prompt number 5. Hopefully it's good. Christian fiction. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Head in the Clouds by Karen Whittemire. It just looks adorable. I don't know what it's about, but we're going to find out. So, when a recovering romantic goes to work for a handsome ranch owner, her heart's not the only thing in danger. Adelaide Proctor longs to find a real-life storybook hero to claim as her own. But when a husband-hunting debacle leaves her humiliated, she interviews for a governess position on a remote Texas sheep ranch and vows to leave her silly romantic yearnings behind. Gideon Westcott left his privileged life in England to make a name for himself in America's wool industry, never expecting to end up with a child. To his dismay, 5-year-old Isabella hasn't uttered a word since she lost her mother. The unconventionality of the new governess concerns Gideon and intrigues him at the same time, but he can't afford distractions. When Isabella's uncle comes to claim the girl and her inheritance, Gideon and Adelaide must work together to protect Isabella from the man's evil schemes. Soon, neither can deny their growing attraction, but after so many heartbreaks, will Adelaide be willing to get her head out of the clouds and put her heart on the line? Let's give it a shot. What have we got to lose? Okay, so let's hold up this stack because it's ridiculous, y'all. It is ridiculous. So we have Head in the Clouds. We've got The Husband's Secret, Leanne Moriarty, Morgan Matson, right? And Fablehaven was a one-word title, right? What was number 1? What was the first? Oh yeah, A Dystopian. So this is from the prompt jar, y'all. Okay. Let's add our March Mystery Madness. Sherlock. And then Strawberry Shortcake Murder. Then we've got Middle Grade March, which is the Fablehaven and Anne of the Island. You guys, this is insane. And then I want to read my Lucky Charm because reasons. And then the unfinished ones, moving over, because apparently I have no life. Y'all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the Strawberry Shortcake and Hunted. That's 13 books. Y'all, I only read 3 books in February. I don't know what makes me think I can do this. Every month, y'all. Okay, everybody, that is my March TBR. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't have high hopes. I'm going to do the best I can. Hopefully I get out of this slump one of these days. I don't know. I love you all so much. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed week, and I will see you guys very soon with another video.